At a railway station in a city, there lived a beggar. He survived by begging from the passengers traveling on trains passing through the station. One day, while begging, he noticed a tall man dressed in a suit. He thought, "This man looks very wealthy. If I ask him for alms, he'll surely give me a good amount of money." The beggar approached the tall man and started begging. Looking at the beggar, the tall man said, "You're always asking for something. Do you ever give anything to anyone?" The beggar replied, "Sir, I'm just a beggar. I always ask people for help. I'm not capable enough to give anything to anyone." The tall man responded, "If you can't give anything to anyone, then you don't have the right to ask either. I'm a businessman, and I believe in give and take. If you have something to give me, only then can I give you something in return." Saying this, the tall man boarded the train and left. The beggar started reflecting on what the man had said. His words deeply touched the beggar's heart. The beggar thought, "Maybe I don't get much alms because I have nothing to give in return." But then he wondered, "I'm a beggar. I have nothing to give. How long will I keep asking without giving anything in return?" After thinking a lot, the beggar decided that he would give something to anyone who gave him alms. However, a question troubled him. "I'm just a beggar, so what can I possibly give in return for alms?" He spent 2 days pondering this question but couldn't find an answer. On the third day, while sitting near the station, he noticed some flowers blooming on the plants nearby. An idea struck him. Why not give flowers to people in return for their alms? He liked the idea and plucked some flowers. When he went to beg on the train, anyone who gave him alms also received a flower in return. People happily accepted the flowers and kept them. From that day on, the beggar would pluck flowers every morning and give them to anyone who gave him alms. Over time, he noticed that more people started giving him alms. He would gather all the flowers from the station area and hand them out in exchange for alms. However, when he ran out of flowers, he wouldn't receive any more alms. This became his daily routine. One day, while begging, he saw the same tall man sitting on the train. Excitedly, he approached the man and said, "Today, I have something to give you, a flower. Please give me alms and I'll give you this flower in return." The tall man gave him some money as alms, and the beggar handed him a flower. The tall man liked this gesture and said, "Wow, what a concept. Today you've become a businessman just like me." Saying this, the tall man got off at his station, but his words once again struck a chord in the beggar's heart. The beggar kept replaying his words in his mind and felt very happy. His eyes sparkled with a newfound realization. He thought to himself, "Now I've found the key to success that can change my life. I am not just a beggar, I'm a businessman. I too can become rich." He immediately got off the train, looked up at the sky with excitement, and shouted loudly, "I am not a beggar, I am a businessman." People around him thought he had gone mad. From the next day, the beggar was never seen at the station again. 6 months later, at the same station, two men in suits were traveling on a train. They noticed each other, and one of them extended his hand and said, "Do you recognize me?" The other man replied, "No, I don't think we've met before." The first man smiled and said, "Think again. We've not just met once, but twice before." The second man replied, "I don't recall." "When did we meet before?" The first man smiled and said, "We met twice on this very train. I'm the same beggar you once told what I should do with my life, and during our second meeting, you bought flowers from me." The second man smiled, astonished, and said, "Oh, I remember now. You're the beggar I once refused to give alms to, and the next time I bought flowers from you. But what are you doing in a suit now? And where are you headed these days?" The first man replied, "Yes, I was that beggar, but today I'm a successful flower merchant traveling to another city for business." After a brief pause, he continued, "During our first meeting, you taught me the law of give and take. I realized that life rewards us only when we give something in return. I adopted this principle, and it changed my life completely. Initially, I only considered myself a beggar, never thinking beyond that. But during our second meeting, you made me realize that I had already become a businessman. That day, I understood why people gave me alms, not because I begged, but because they valued the flowers I gave in return. With the money I collected from selling flowers, I bought more flowers and eventually became a flower merchant. People here love flowers, and their love for them has made me one of the biggest flower merchants today. Both businessmen were happy and got off at the station, walking ahead while discussing their respective businesses. Morale of the story. This story teaches us many valuable lessons. The tall businessman understood the principle of give and take very well. It is a natural law that governs success. When the beggar adopted this rule, it brought a visible transformation in his life. The story shows that changing your mindset can change your life. If you see yourself as small, you'll remain small. To become great, you must think big and believe in yourself. Success lies in your mindset. Respect yourself, think big, and see how you reach the pinnacle of success.